Never know what we're going to find in the Bible. This is the first, the last, the most heart. It's not for children. It's only for the most stout-hearted among the religious. And everyone is welcome who's not a children. No sound, they say. Hell's bells. Why not? I do wonder. Marvelous. Okay, I wonder, let's see here. Nope, the call settings turned all the way up. My audio is thank you, Aunt Jer. Okay, Paul says I'm okay now. Okay, so it was just one of those junk shoppy things. All right, well, the new computer. Hey, Brainbug, good to see you. You just missed your fantabulous intro when we rolled it. Thank you so much for that, my friend. The new computer has been constructed. It's in the shop. It's having stuff put on it. I'm so excited. Not a problem, Linda. Don't sweat it. Hey, Mr. Shadow Kitty, good to see you, as always. All right. Well, y'all know what time it is. It is time to thank my lovely patrons whose names you see over on this side. Did I get it right? I think I did. Yes, this side. Those are the folks in alphabetical order who have seen fit in their heart and found room in their pocketbook in these trying times to contribute to the ongoing success of the Junk Shop Library Technology Department and Tech Support Fund. In alphabetical order, those folks are B, Brainbug, Kim, Linda, Mark Caesar, Math Pig, Mama Atheist, Nikki, Paul Camish, Rain, Santi the Sane, and the Lone Wanderer. That one's just fun to say. Thank you all so very, very much. Your support really does make a difference, and it really does mean the world. All right, we got some more folks creeping into the chat. Who do we got here? Donna T, welcome. Good to see you as always. Angie Dell 66, hello again. Fancy meeting you here, Angie. Good to see you. And Ricardo Oliveira, hello, my ever knowledgeable friend. Always good to have you with us. All righty. Was there, I wonder, was there something else I was supposed to tell y'all? Just coffee. Let's see. I got to make room a little closer to hand for my coffee. Y'all pardon me 1 second while I rearrange some shit. There we go. That'll work. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. Tell Brainbug particularly. Your antennae perking up. I saw you on Your Friendly Neighborhood Atheist. Was that last night or the night before? All days are the same. All days run together. You did a fantastic job. Both y'all did a great job dealing with such a weird assortment of folks calling in and talking. So, respect. Congratulations. All right. We've put it off long enough. It's time for the word of the Lord. We are about halfway through the book of Nehemiah, one of the more peculiar but less taught, so far as I can remember, books of the Old Testament. Angie says, smite, smite, smite. Let's certainly hope so. We had the prospect of smiting last time, and all we got was more construction narrative. So let's see if anything actually happens today. Oh, Paul, yes, thank you. I'm sorry, I knew there was something I was skipping over. Aunt Jur asked about the hashtag that was behind me in the thumbnail, Free Mubarak Bala. I had, quite honestly, I was looking at a teeny tiny thumbnail of that picture when I selected it, and had forgotten that hashtag was in there, but it's as good a time to revisit it as any. Mubarak Bala is an atheist and human rights activist in, I want to say, Nigeria, and I think I'm right about that. But he's been in and out of trouble and in and out of prisons and mental health care facilities there for the better part of the last 2 decades. He's no, it wasn't Pakistan. They would have just killed him outright, which is probably what it was somewhere. Oh gosh, I want to say it was somewhere towards, Brainbug says it was Nigeria. Okay, that's what I was thinking, but old Junk Shop doesn't necessarily always trust his recollections. He's been in prison and in mental institutions for the crime of being an atheist. He is a Kano province. Yes, exactly. Well, Kano province is where he was shipped off to this time. This last time around, he was arrested for violating laws against being an atheist in Kano province, despite the fact that he was being an atheist in an entirely different province at the time. He was arrested and moved to Kano province so that he could be prosecuted under Sharia law. Never a good sign. This was months ago. That was the last time anybody saw him. He has not been given access to a lawyer, despite the fact that the funds for a lawyer were raised and a lawyer was acquired for him, I want to say, by the IAA, the International Association of Atheists, Miss Courtney's group, Godless Mom on Twitter. You probably bounced off of her once or twice. He has not been seen. He has not been heard from. He has not released a statement. He has not been given access to anything or anybody for months. And given that that he is in prison on charges of atheism and blasphemy in a Sharia law district, that's really not a good sign. And Courtney managed to get a pretty decent PR campaign off the ground to get that hashtag trending a couple of months back, and it had a real good spike there for a while, and it's kind of trailed off. We should probably get that going again, just for the awareness, if nothing else. He's probably been killed, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, and Brainbug talks about Courtney's boob campaign. And if you don't know what that is, you're just not spending enough time on Twitter. No, whenever Godless Mom is trying to, it is Godless Mom, isn't it? I'm thinking of the right person, is trying to raise awareness for something or draw attention to something, she tends to do cleavage pics that that tend to rile up the conservatives, which is just fun. So yeah, nothing like a good cheerful story to get us off the ground at the start. But just tell you what, I'm just going to go ahead and type it in the chat, and y'all can fire it off anywhere you feel like it. Yeah, that's one of many reasons why theocracies are bad, because people can just be disappeared in the name of God and arrested on trumped up blasphemy charges. Oh, and you know what the really fucked up part of the story was? Yes, it gets worse. What got him in trouble to begin with, oh, thank you, Brainbug. Awesome. What got him in trouble to begin with was a change.org petition. Some folks started a change.org petition to get him arrested on blasphemy charges, and it got enough signatures that the government of Nigeria took notice, arrested him, and shipped him off to fucking Kano province. And nobody's heard from him since. It's bullshit. I know there's some good petitions going up on that platform, but I haven't signed one there since. There's plenty of other places to sign petitions without signing petitions on platforms that don't vet their the campaigns that are allowed to be on their platform any better than that. All right. Well, old Junk Shop's got their blood pressure up a little bit. Time to dive into the word of the Lord. Look what I found. Nehemiah, 7th chapter. Sees today. Why do I know that name? I've seen you around somewhere. Seen you around some channel that I was hanging out on the other day. Anyway, welcome. All right, chapter 7. Now, it came to pass, when the wall was built, and I had set up the doors, and the porters and the singers and the Levites were appointed, that I gave my brother Hanani and Hananiah, the ruler of the palace, charge over Jerusalem, for he was a faithful man and feared God above many. And I said unto them, let not the gates of Jerusalem be opened until the sun be hot, and while they stand by, let them shut the doors and bar them, and appoint watches of the inhabitants of Jerusalem, every one in his watch, and every one to be over against his house. Now, the city was large and great, but the people were few therein, and the houses were not builded. And my God put into mine heart to gather together the nobles and the rulers and the people, that they might be reckoned by genealogy. And I found a register of the genealogy of them which came up at the first, and found written therein, these are the children of the province that went up out of the captivity, of those that had been carried away, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away, and came again to Jerusalem and to Judah, every one unto his city. Who came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Azariah, Raamiah, Nahamani, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispereth, Bigvai, Nahum, Baana. The number, I say, of the men of the people of Israel was this. The children of Perosh, 2,172. The children of Shephatiah, 372. The children of Arah, 652. The children of Pahath Moab, of the children of Jeshua and Joab, 2,818. The children of Elam, 1,250 and the children of Zatu, 840 and the children of Zaki, 760. The children of Binui, 640 the children of Bebai, 620 the children of Azgad, 2,320 the children of Adonikam, 667 the children of Bigvai, 2,307 the children of Adin, 655 the children of Ater of Hezekiah, 90 the children of Hashum, 320 the children of Bezai, 320 the children of Harif, 112 the children of Gibeon, 90 the children of Bethlehem and Netophah, 180 the men of Anathoth, 128 the men of Beth Asmaveth, 42 the men of Kirjath Jearim, Chatherath and Beeroth, 743 the men of Ramah and Gabah, 621 the men of Michmaz, 122 the men of Beth El and Ai, 123 the men of the other Nebo, 52 the children of the other Elam, 1,254 the children of Harim, 320 the children of Jericho, 345 the children of Lod, Hadid, and Ono, 721 the children of Sanaa, 3,930 the priests. The children of Jediah of the house of Jeshua, 973 the children of Immer, 1,052 the children of Pashur, 1,247 the children of Harim, 1,017 the Levites, the children of Jeshua, of Kadmiel, and of the children of Hodabah, 74 the singers, the children of Asaph, 148 the porters, the children of Shallum, the children of Ater, the children of Talmon, the children of Akub, the children of Hatita, the children of Shobai, 138 the Nethinims, the children of Ziha, the children of Hasupha, the children of Tabaoth, the children of Kiros, the children of Sia, the children of Padon, the children of Lebana, the children of Hagaba, the children of Shalmai, the children of Hanan, the children of Giddel, the children of Gabar, the children of Reiah, the children of Rezim, the children of Nekoda, the children of Gazam, the children of Uzzah, the children of Paseah, the children of Besai, the children of Meunim, the children of Nephishesim, the children of Bakbuk, the children of Hakupha, the children of Harher, the children of Bazlith, the children of Mahida, the children of Harsha, the children of Barkos, the children of Sisera, the children of Tama, the children of Neziah, the children of Hatipha, the children of Solomon's servants, the children of Sotai, the children of Sophereth, the children of Perida, the children of Jaiah, the children of Darkon, the children of Giddel, the children of Shephatiah, the children of Hatil, the children of Pochereth of Zebaim, the children of Ammon. All the Nethinims and the children of Solomon's servants were 392. And these were they which went up also from Tel Melah, Tel Harashah, Cherub, Adon, and Immer, but they would not shew their father's house, nor their seed, whether they were of Israel. The children of Deliah, the children of Tobiah, the children of Nekoda, 642. And of the priests, the children of Habiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took one of the daughters of Barzillai the Gileadite to wife, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, but it was not found. Therefore were they, as polluted, put from the priesthood. And the Tirshatha said unto them that they should not eat of the most holy things till there stood up a priest with Urim and Thummim. The whole congregation together was 42,303, beside their manservants and their maidservants, of whom there were 7,337, and they had 245 singing men and singing women. Their horses 736, their mules 245, their camels 435, 6,720 asses. And some of the chief of the fathers gave unto the work. The Tirshatha gave to the treasure 1,000 drams of gold, 50 basins, 530 priests' garments. And some of the chief of the fathers gave to the treasure of the work 20,000 drams of gold and 2,200 pounds of silver. And that which the rest of the people gave was 20,000 drams of gold and 2,000 pounds of silver and 67 priests' garments. So the priests and the Levites and the porters and the singers and some of the people and the Nethinims and all Israel dwelt in their cities. And when the 7th month came, the children of Israel were in their cities. And there we have Nehemiah 7. Was that worth it? Aren't you glad you came? More damn begats. Paul Kamish says that the Bible would be a pamphlet if we removed the crap. And he's right. Oh, thank you, Angie. Says, well done. Thank you so much. That was a bit of a slog. Aunt Jer says, haha, back book brings to mind Salty. Salty the Songbook. Oh, dear, 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 dear. What were our parents thinking when they gave us that trippy crap? Hey, Mama Atheist. Good to see you, as always. See who else snuck in. Robert X, Germany in the house. Hello, my friend. Mr. Shadow Kitty says, this is like reading statistics from the County Hall of Records. And Mr. Shadow Kitty is right, because that's literally what we just did. Aunt Jer wonders, do these numbers include women and children, or does children just mean male descendants? It doesn't really clue us in on that. I mean, there were a couple of sections where it specifically said men or women, but that was mostly just the singers. Ooh, I beg your pardon. It seems in this context, because there's a couple of places where it specifically says the men, like verses 30, 31, 32, and 33 are all the men of this tribe, or actually it starts at verse 26. The men of this tribe, the men of that tribe, the men of this tribe, the men of this house. Whereas the rest of it says the children, the children, the children, the children. And then the whole congregation together, verse 66, the whole congregation together was 42,360. Not counting manservants, maidservants, singing men, and singing women, and also much cattle. No, Robert, you didn't miss any smiting. All you missed was some difficult to pronounce names. Grr, arg. Let us see. Where we at, Ricardo? Just finished Nehemiah 7. Mr. Shadow Kitty says he's read this book before. So why? Total snooze fest, exactly. Godless Granny says, enough children. No kidding. Amiga Nut says, well, you got to take the smites with the telephone books. Yeah. Yeah, apparently. Sees today, came for the reading, stays for the insanity. Well, there wasn't any insanity in the text, but God, if we have another chapter of that, old Junk Shop will go insane right before your eyes, sure enough. But Monteur says Hannah and Jake did some reviews of the Salty videos. You know, I actually never saw one of the videos. We had the audio tapes. We used to play them in the car all the time. Mama Atheist, they're still technically purple, although they need a touch-up job like hell. Okay. Well, I'm certainly glad the chat was active, because they literally only one thing happened in this entire chapter, and that was to point out that some of the folks who came along for the ride from Babylon couldn't prove on paper that they were actually descendants of any of the 12 tribes, not even half Manasseh. Linda's back with her hot chocolate. Well, Angie, oh no. Angie says the girls are playing dress up and the whole house smells like nail polish. Not a pleasant smell, is it? Thank you, Amiga Nuts, too. The king of the shills dropping the links. Fantastic. All right. Chapter 8. Because there ain't fuck all to drag out of chapter 7. We could have left that whole thing on the floor of the Council of Nicaea. Chapter 8. Heaven help us. Chapter 8. And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate. And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel. Well, now we know why Ezra and Nehemiah are stuck close together. And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear it with understanding, upon the first day of the 7th month. And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate, from the morning until midday, before the men and the women, and those that could understand. And the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law. And Ezra the scribe stood upon a pulpit of wood, which they had made for the purpose. And beside him stood Mattithiah, and Shema, and Ananiah, and Urijah, and Hilkiah, and Maaseiah on his right hand. And on his left hand, Pedaiah, and Mishael, and Malchiah, and Hashum, and Hashbadana, Zechariah, and Meshullam. And Ezra opened the book in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people. And when he opened it, all the people stood up. And Ezra blessed the Lord, the great God. And all the people answered, Amen, Amen, with lifting up their hands. And they bowed their heads and worshipped the Lord with their faces to the ground. Also Jeshua and Bani and Sherebiah, Jamin, Akub, Shebathai, Hodijah, Maaseiah, Kelita, Azariah, Jozabad, Hanan, Peliah, and the Levites caused the people to understand the law, and the people stood in their place. So they read in the book of the law of God distinctly, and gave the sense, and caused them to understand the reading. And Nehemiah, which is the Tirshatha, and Ezra the priest, the scribe, and the Levites that taught the people, said unto all the people, This day is holy unto the Lord your God. Mourn not, nor weep. For all the people wept when they heard the words of the law. Then he said unto them, Go your way, eat the fat, and drink the sweet, and send portions unto them for whom nothing is prepared. For this day is holy unto our Lord. Neither be ye sorry, for the joy of the Lord is your strength. So the Levites stilled all the people, saying, Hold your peace, for the day is holy, neither be ye grieved. And all the people went their way to eat and to drink, and to send portions, and to make great mirth, because they had understood the words that were declared unto them. And on the second day were gathered together the chief of the fathers of all the people, the priests and the Levites, unto Ezra the scribe, even to understand the words of the law. And they found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded by Moses, that the children of Israel should dwell in booths in the feast of the 7th month, and that they should publish and proclaim in all their cities and in Jerusalem, saying, Go forth unto the mount, and fetch olive branches, and pine branches, and myrtle branches, and palm branches, and branches of thick trees, to make booths, as it is written. So the people went forth, and brought them, and made themselves booths, every one upon the roof of his house, and in their courts, and in the courts of the house of the God, and in the street of the water gate, and in the street of the gate of Ephraim. And all the congregation of them that were come again out of the captivity made booths, and sat under the booths. For since the days of Jeshua son of Nun until that day had not the children of Israel done so. And there was very great gladness. Also, day by day, from the first day unto the last day, he read in the book of the law of God. And they kept the feast 7 days. And on the 8th day was a solemn assembly, according to unto the manner. And there we have chapter 8. All right. So the reinstitution of the Feast of the Tabernacles. All right. So once they've rebuilt the city, booths, little hut kind of things. Aunt Jura says, how many chapters are in Nehemiah? I was just wondering that myself. There are 13. Okay, but in chapter 8, after the walls have been builded and the gates put in and the doors put in the gates, or whichever way around it is, and after they've tallied up the genealogy of everybody that's come hither from out of captivity in Babylon, Nehemiah goes to Ezra the scribe, the priest of the Most High God. Says, hey, yo, Ezra, you still got that law book? You know, the one we hadn't really so much been abiding by because we've been all captive in Babylon and shit. Ezra says, I got it right here, baby. Nehemiah says, tell you what, come over to the water gate and let's read it aloud to the people. And Ezra's response is not recorded. But he does it anyway. They go over and they gather all the people together in the street in front of the water gate. And Ezra commences to read the book of the law. Yep. Let's all go stand in the middle of the street and listen to some priest read Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy out loud to us, starting first thing in the morning and going on until noon. Noon? When did he stop? Yeah, I know that it said. Yes, until midday, until noon. So, from the ass crack of dawn until the very high noon of the day, Ezra proceeds to read out of the book of the law. And then come noon, he says, it's too hot for this shit. He says, I'll tell you what, this day is going to be a feast day to the Lord. Everybody go home, eat up, drink up, generally have a party. And so they do. And he says, everybody dance now. Okay, so naturally, having read out loud everything that can be read out loud in half of one day, they don't bother to bring everybody back together for more. Just the priests and the Levites and the Nethinims. Probably the porters and the singing men as well, but it's not specifically said. And Mr. Ezra takes up where he left off, which just happens to be right at the institution of the Feast of the Tabernacles. And they all say, wait a minute, Feast of the You know, that rings a faint bell, but we ain't done that shit in years. So I tell you what, everybody, well, all y'all priestly fuckers, y'all go out and you tell the children of Israel to go outside the city and chop down some branches and make little huts on the roofs of their house. And if there's not room on the roofs of the house for everybody to have their little hut, you can do it in the street. So the children of Israel say, well, that makes as much sense as any other damn thing. So they go out and they cut down branches from palm trees and myrtle trees and every other damn kind of tree they can find. And they build these little huts on the roofs of the houses and in the middle of the street, in every damn place they can find room for one. And they sit in them all day and pray, because that's the Feast of the Tabernacles. That is literally what you do. You build yourself a little hut out of branches, and you sit in it all day and you pray. Sounds fascinating, doesn't it? Yet another reason I'm glad I'm not religiously observant. Some of these religiously observances are boring as shit. Oh my God. And that's all there is to chapter 8. They started a tabernacling again. Yep. That's it. And apparently they don't read any more of the book of the law. They read up until the institution of the Feast of Tabernacles. Then Mr. Ezra gives up at midday. Then the next day they read about the Tabernacle Feast and realize they've forgotten to do it. And so they do it. And that's it. That's all there is to chapter 8. I tell you, you sit in, Paul Campbell says, you sit in your hut all day and pray and nothing happens. Yep. Just like sitting anywhere else all day and praying. What will happen? Zip. Chapter 9. Oh, we got to have some smiting again at some point, don't we? Surely. Somebody got to get smoked. Sooner or later, somebody's going to fuck up one of these religious observances, and then their ass will get smoked. And not in a fun way. Just coffee. Sukkot. That's what it, yes. Thank you, Aunt Jur. Yes, I couldn't remember the name of it to save me. Holy fuck. I'm so glad you people are here. You have no idea. Okay, chapter 9. Now, in the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloths and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers, and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers. And they stood up in their place, and read in the book of the law of the Lord their God 1/4 part of the day, and another 4th part they confessed and worshipped the Lord their God. Then stood up upon the stairs of the Levites Jeshua and Bani, Kadmiel, Shebaniah, Buni, Sherebiah, Bani, and Hanani, and cried with a loud voice unto the Lord their God. Then the Levites, Jeshua and Kadmiel, Bani, Hashabniah, Sherebiah, Hodijah, Shebaniah, and Pethahiah said, Stand up and bless the Lord your God forever and ever, and blessed be thy glorious name, who is exalted above all blessing and praise. Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their host, the earth and all things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshippeth thee. Thou art the Lord the God, who didst choose Abram, and broughtest him forth out of Ur of the Chaldees, and gavest him the name of Abraham, and foundest his heart faithful before thee, and madest a covenant with him, to give the land of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Jebusites, and the Girgashites, to give it, I say, to his seed, and hast performed thy words, for thou art righteous. And didst see the affliction of our fathers in Egypt, and heardest their cry by the Red Sea, and shewedst signs and wonders upon Pharaoh, and on all his servants, and on all the people of his land, for thou knewest that they dealt proudly against them. So didst thou get thee a name, as it is this day. And thou didst divide the sea before them, so that they went through the midst of the sea on the dry land, and their persecutors thou threwest into the deeps, as a stone into the mighty waters. Moreover, thou leddest them in the day by a cloudy pillar, and in the night by a pillar of fire, to give them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou camest down also upon Mount Sinai, and spakest with them from heaven, and gavest them right judgments and true laws, good statutes and commandments, and madest known unto them the holy Sabbath, and commandedst them precepts, statutes, and laws by the hand of Moses thy servant. And gavest them bread from heaven for their hunger, and broughtest forth water for them out of the rock for their thirst, and promisedst them that they should go in to possess the land which thou hast sworn to give them. But they and our fathers dealt proudly, and hardened their necks, and hearkened not to thy commandments, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. Yea, when they had made them a molten calf, and said, This is the God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and had wrought great provocations, yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of cloud departed not from them by day to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night to shew them light, and the way wherein they should go. Thou gavest also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheldest not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. Yea, 40 years didst thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Moreover, thou gavest them kingdoms and nations, and didst divide them into corners. So they possessed the land of Sihon, and the land of the king of Heshbon, and the land of Og, king of Bashan. Their children also multipliedst thou as the stars of heaven, and broughtest them into the land, concerning which thou hadst promised to their fathers, that they should go in to possess it. So the children went in and possessed the land, and thou subduedst before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gavest them into their hands with their kings and the people of the land, that they might do with them as they would. And they took strong cities and a fat land, and possessed houses full of all goods, wells digged, vineyards and oliveyards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did eat, and were filled, and became fat, and delighted themselves in thy great goodness. Nevertheless, they were disobedient, and rebelled against thee, and cast thy law behind their backs, and slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn them to thee, and they wrought great provocations. Therefore, thou deliveredst them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them. And in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven. And according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors, who saved them out of the hand of their enemies. But after they had rest, they did evil again before thee. Therefore leftest thou them in the hand of their enemies, so that they had the dominion over them. Yet when they returned and cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven, and many times didst thou deliver them according to thy mercies, and testifiedst against them that thou bringest. Let me try verse 29 again. And testifiedst against them, that thou mightest bring them again unto thy law. Yet they dealt proudly, and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and withdrew the shoulder, and hardened their neck, and would not hear. Yet many years didst thou forbear them, and testifiedst against them by thy Spirit in thy prophets. Yet would they not give ear. Therefore thou gavest them into the hand of the people of the lands. Nevertheless, for thy great mercy's sake, thou didst not utterly consume them, nor forsake them, for thou art a gracious and merciful God. Now, therefore, our God, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who keepest covenant and mercy, let not all the trouble seem little before thee that hath come upon us, on our kings, on our princes, and on our priests, and on our prophets, and on our fathers, and on all thy people, since the time of the kings of Assyria unto this day. Howbeit thou art just in all that is brought upon us, for thou hast done right, but we have done wickedly. Neither have our kings, our princes, our priests, nor our fathers kept thy law, nor hearkened unto thy commandments and thy testimonies, wherewith thou didst testify against them. For they have not served thee in their kingdom, and in thy great goodness that thou gavest them, and in the large and fat land which thou gavest before them, neither turned they from their wicked works. Behold, we are servants this day, and for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof, behold, we are servants in it. And it yieldeth much increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us because of our sins. Also they have dominion over our bodies, and over our cattle, at their pleasure, and we are in great distress. And because of all this, we make a sure covenant, and write it, and our princes, Levites, and priests seal unto it. And there we have chapter 9. The literal Reader's Digest of all that cameth before. Yeah. Yep, so that just happened. We could literally have taken Nehemiah 9 and put it instead of all of this. Well, all of this. From the time of Abram to the exile to Babylon, in the space of one fucking chapter. 38 verses! 38 verses! 38 verses instead of 230 odd pages. 38 verses. Son of a bitch. Oh my God. I have never felt like I've wasted so much time. I've been doing 18 months, y'all. 18 long months have we been slogging through this slog together. $18 months. Cartons and cartons of cigarettes. Endless gallons of coffee. Wear and tear on old junk shop's throat. Wear and tear on old junk shop's mind. 7 or 12 different facial hair configurations. 3 or 5 entirely different haircuts. 1, 2, 3, 4 different sets. 38 verses. We could have, ooh, old junk shop got his dander up. Fucking prophets. God damn. 38 verses to cover everything from back when Abraham was called Abram all the way through to the end of the Babylonian exile. Mr. Shadow Kitty says, told ya, a doozy of a snoozy. Paul Camish wants to know if I'll be starting the Quran after the Bible. Probably not. Aaron Ra is going through the Quran with a couple of Muslim or ex-Muslim scholars, and I don't think there's going to be any topping that. Plus, if I try the Quran, I'll have the entire chat will be full of Muslim apologists telling me I'm reading from the wrong translation. I do have plans for what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and tell y'all, especially since I may have mentioned it before. Assuming we ever get through the Bible, I'm going to do the Book of Mormon, also known as the batshit crazy sci-fi fanfic of the Bible. I think, and I've never read the Book of Mormon. I read the first couple of chapters back in college because a friend of mine got a better coffee coaster and gave me her Book of Mormon that she had been using as a coffee coaster all that time. And I said, well, what the hell? I'll try to read this. I couldn't make heads nor fucking tails of those first couple of chapters. So I think that's what we're going to do, assuming we survive and I don't blow out an aneurysm and y'all don't all run away in terror and frustration and dismay. So that's the plan. Paul likes that idea. Brainbug says, space alien? I don't know enough about Mormonism to know if that's relevant or not. Are there space aliens in the Book of Mormon? How cool would that be? Okay. We've been going an hour. Shall we do chapter 10? Let me know in the chat. I do actually have the live chat up today. Linda says yes. Hey, my producer says yes. That's good enough for me. Thank you, Linda. You're the best. And I saw Megan that's dropped Linda's links up there, so thank you for that. Paul says, is it the Mormons that get a planet? Is it the Mormons? Or is it the Scientologists where you get your own planet and get to be God? I don't remember. Most of my other religion knowledge has been crowded out of my head by everything I've had to relearn and reprocess while working my way through this ridiculous mayhem and foolishness. Where's my fucking... There they are. Anjir says it is the Mormons. Okay. All right. Chapter 10. Sweet baby Jesus. All right. Now those that sealed were Nehemiah the Tirshatha, the son of Hachaliah, and Zidkijah, Sariah, Azariah, Jeremiah, Pashur, Amariah, Malchijah, Hatush, Shebaniah, Maluch, Harim, Meremoth, Obadiah, Daniel, Ginnathon, Baruch, Meshulam, Abijah, Mijamim, Maaziah, Bilgai, Shemaiah. Those were the priests. And the Levites, both Jeshua, the son of Azaniah, Binui of the sons of Henadad, Kadmiel, and their brethren, Shebaniah, Hodijah, Kalita, Peliah, Hanan, Micah, Rahab, Hashabiah, Zakur, Sherebiah, Shebaniah, Hodijah, Bani, Beninu. The chief of the people, Parosh, Pahath Moab, Elam, Zathu, Bani, Buni, Asgad, Bebai, Adonijah, Bigvai, Adin, Ater, Hizkijah, Azur, Hodijah, Hashum, Bezai, Harif, Anathoth, Nebai, Magpiash, Meshulam, Hezir, Meshezabiel, Zadok, Zadua, Pelatia, Hanan, Anaiah, Hoshea, Hananiah, Hashub, Halohesh, Pileha, Shobek, Rehum, Hashabna, Maaseiah, and Ahijah, Hanan, Anan, Maluch, Harim, Baana. And the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the porters, the singers, the Nethinims, and all they that had separated themselves from the people of the lands unto the law of God, their wives, their sons, and their daughters, every one having knowledge and having understanding, they clave to their brethren, their nobles, and entered into a curse and into an oath to walk in God's law, which was given by Moses, the servant of God, and to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord our God, and his judgments and his statutes, and that we would not give our daughters unto the people of the land, nor take their daughters for our sons. And if the people of the land bring any ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath or on the holy day, and that we would leave the 7th year and the exaction of every debt. Also, we made ordinances for us to charge ourselves yearly with the 3rd part of a shekel for the service of the house our God, for the shewbread, and for the continual meat offering, and for the continual burnt offering of the Sabbaths, of the new moons, for the set feasts, and for the holy things, and for the sin offerings to make an atonement for Israel, and for all the work of the house of God. And we cast the lots among the priests, the Levites, and the people for the wood offering, to bring it into the house of our God, after the houses of our fathers, at times appointed year by year, to burn upon the altar of the Lord our God, as it is written in the law. And to bring the first fruits of our ground, and the first fruits of all fruit of all trees, year by year, unto the house of the Lord. Also the firstborn of our sons and of our cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstlings of our herds and of our flocks, to bring to the house of our God, unto the priests that minister in the house of our God. And that we should bring the first fruits of our dough and our offerings, and the fruit of all manner of trees, of wine and of oil, unto the priests, to the chambers of the house of our God, and the tithes of our ground unto the Levites, that the same Levites might have the tithes in all the cities of our tillage. And the priest, the son of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites take tithes, and the Levites shall bring up the tithe of the tithes into the house of our God, to the chambers, unto the treasure house. For the children of Israel and the children of Levi shall bring the offering of the corn, of the new wine, and the oil unto the chambers, where are the vessels of the sanctuary, and the priests that minister, and the porters, and the singers, and we will not forsake the house of our God. And that's the end of chapter 10. More fucking summary. Bye, Angie. Oh, dear, 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 dear. Yeah, Mr. Shadow Kitty, sounds like he's casting a spell. It sure does, doesn't it? Oh. Okay. More reinstitution of laws. And also the reinstitution of the tithe. Good news for the Levites. They get to be salaried again. Paul Camish says he's going to read a cookbook. Yeah, be more interesting, wouldn't it? Have some practical value and application at any rate. This fucking book, y'all. I mean, we could literally tear out Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, and probably a good portion of Genesis, and just leave in these middle couple of chapters of Nehemiah instead. Old Junk Shop's frustrated, y'all. Frustrated and annoyed. Frustrated and not in a fun way. What is there to say? It's the tithing shit again. It's give your money to the Levites. We're going to start only a tenth of it, but still. And we're going to start bringing the first fruits and the best animals to the temple again, so that the porters can bring them in, and the Levites can, and the priests can give them to the Levites, and the Levites can chop them up and set them on fire and eat them for barbecue dinner. That's what's the next chapter going to be? A summary of the it's going to be a fucking summary of the leprosy laws. Good God almighty. Yeah, Paul, you were exactly right. It would be a fucking pamphlet. It's tedious. It's fucking tedious. Y'all, this book's going to make me pull out my hair. Such of it as remains to me. Omega Nuts, I've been on the dark side for a hot minute. Oh, shit, my light went out. Well, wait a minute. I did a stupid. I'll tell you the stupid that I done did. I knew I was going to be setting up over here. And I plugged, and I had forgotten that the laptop was going to be right here. So I had my my backup battery pack powering my my O light. My O light sounds naughty, doesn't it? And forgot that I could have just plugged it into the fucking. Y'all know y'all come for the behind the scenes shit, don't you? There, that'll do. Yes, I be smitten. I am vexed. Yes, brain bug. The blasphemy has finally caught up with me, and the Lord God of heaven reached down to smite me, and all he managed to do was make my battery pack run out. Some God, huh? <sighs> 11, 12, 13. All right. We got 3 chapters left. What is today, y'all? Today's Wednesday. Okay. So I tell you what. We'll do 11, 12, and 13 on Friday. So we'll have a short episode on Friday. Oh, I see that, brain bug. Yeah, you came in late after I was done talking about it. I'll catch everybody up. I mean, not late, but after I had stopped rambling about that. I'll catch everybody up to speed on that in 1 sec. So we'll have a short episode on Friday. We'll get rid of Nehemiah because I don't want to give Esther short shrift. Esther's a short book as it is, and well, short-ish, 10 chapters, but some of those chapters are real fucking short. And I always kind of liked Esther when I was a kid, so we'll dive into Esther in the detail that she deserves on Monday. No, Paul, I am not. I didn't believe in God before, and reading his fanfic is not making me any more likely to believe. Closest thing to a God in this house is me, from the perspective of the fish. Oh, me, my. Okay, yeah, puny God. Excuse me. For those of you who came in after I was done rambling about it before, the new computer is built. It took a little longer than we thought it was going to take to put together. My brother-in-law had a couple of brain farts along the way, and when he realized why that was because it was nearing on 9 o'clock at night, and he'd been up since 4 in the morning. He said, "Fuck this shit, I'm walking." And he came back the next day and went, "Oh, that's the stupid that I did." And he was done in no time then after that. So he finished it all up, and it is now at the Depot du Office, getting its operating system and such installed by a specialist and a technician, and we will have it back soon. And then it's just a matter of getting it set up and hooked up to the monitor and playing around with OBS and getting everything, uploaded and downloaded and all that jazz. So certainly by the end of next week, even old Junk Shop should be sufficiently teched, sufficiently tied into the workings of the new PC. All right, so let's see. Tomorrow is Thursday. Do we do anything on Thursday? Mental Health Thursdays. And I've got a topic ahead of time, believe it or not. So I don't remember at what time, but I think there's a link up on my channel to the upcoming live stream. Friday at the same time as we did here today, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 2 + 6 is 8. 8 UK, 9 Denmark. We'll do another improv Bible study. We'll kill Nehemiah. And then we will reconvene on Monday, and we'll start working on Esther. Oh, patrons only. Yes, thank you, Paul. I knew I was forgetting something. Hey, Edward. Yeah, you come rolling in just as we're finishing up. You missed a lot of genealogy and a lot of summary. If you were going to miss an episode, today was the one to miss. Ask the folks in the chat, they'll tell you. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Paul, to answer your question, patrons only will be this on Saturday. It'll be, hang on one sec, let me check, because I know I've got that set already. Let me double check and see what time I've got that set for, because I'm now doing so much that I can't keep it all straight in my mind. I love it. I'm so busy, and everybody else seems to actually like it too. Y'all don't know how much I appreciate y'all. Y'all really, really don't know how much I appreciate y'all. Let's see. The next patrons only stream is on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. my time. So that's, let's see, that's half afternoon East Coast. 5 hours from that is 5:30 UK and 6:30 Belgium. Whoops, I got too many tabs open. I lost my stream. I lost my chat. There we go. 16:30 hours. Yes. Thank you, Paul. And if y'all want to know what we get up to on the patron streams, you just need to pop right over to patreon.com/junkshoplibrary and sign up for as little as $1 a month. Everybody's welcome to the patrons only streams. I don't have tiered content as of yet. Yeah. So those of y'all interested in the mental health aspect of life, we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you back here, same time, same station on Friday for more improv Bible study. Extra special thank you to my patrons whose names you see right over here off this side of the screen. I finally got my left from my right figured out. I'm getting this stuff. I'm improving. I'm learning and growing, y'all. And super duper extra special thanks to the one and only bit of tea in Danish, who has produced for us today so that I don't look like a total fucking amateur with everything I do. Thank you, Linda. You are the best of the best. All right. Hit that like button on your way out if you already haven't. If you've got a couple of seconds, give me a little algorithm boost and leave a comment on your way out. I struggle to find positive comments. It's usually just people down there trying to stir me up and rankle me. As we always say when we round these things out, everybody take care. Everybody be safe. Always stand against hate. Put a fucking mask on. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Linda. We're good.